Welcome to Navarero's online showcase video, M.I.A. edition. After the last happening, whatever that was. Jesus Christ. We are back and I decided to take you guys along to bring the to heist us back down to the oil field. Because I just decided spontaneously to put on the snowy weather and just see the effect here. And why not take you guys along and get a bit more of the scenery here. Otherwise we would be pretty much on our way out of this area now. Just like how the engines are on their way out of the track. I mean, that's kind of my fault. Oh. This is also giving us a new perspective on life. I hope I can get out of here and back up on top. Yep. Okay, this was definitely on my end. I decided to just go a bit too spicy, and that's what you get for that. So the thing about the flight mode now is that apparently they listened to a suggestion from a player who asked for there to be a toggle between just completely free flying with height difference and all of that, and just being able to lock the height. That's what they put in. If you hit the spacebar now, you can sometimes. Okay, now it's actually locking me into a specific height that I was at, and if I hit it again, now I should be able to fly up and down again. It would actually help if they explained that, because to me it just felt buggy sometimes. Especially with if you hit the spacebar, you also just fly up into the air, so it's kind of doing two things. And yeah, there is a good reason for why it's functioning like that now, but it's also still kind of buggy in a way. So overall, not a bad idea to handle it similar to this, but yeah, they could make it a bit more clear. Same with the loading and unloading stuff. I mean, I love how it goes with all the cars now. We are likely going to see a bit more of it when we bring the stuff up to the refinery. But it not being mentioned that you actually need to hit the spacebar to activate the cranes. Easily confusing. And we have so many button prompts here, having another one wouldn't be that bad. Also, looking at the UI, I mean, it's clear how much of an afterthought these were. The buttons are really not integrated. These ones are barely holding on to the interface. It's all a bit cobbled together. I like the parts that they have over here, but all the sliders aren't integrated. Same for the compressor, the map, the whistle up here. It's just... it needs a few more connecting parts. And also they could have easily put these over here as well or something. And yeah, I'm gonna try to not repeat the mistake. I think I've already extended the runtime of this video by doing the stupid thing earlier. I tried hitting the brakes, but it was already too late. And yeah, the snow effect is also active by now on this map. Initially it used to be only on Aurora Falls, but yeah, thankfully they added at least part of it here. I think on Aurora Falls you get the whole ground filling or covering effect, which isn't here, which is why you can still see the grass through the snow. But even just the track covering, it's just so inconsistent. Only happens on a few things, and once we get back up to the yard, you're going to see how much worse it is over there. By the way, I should probably, let's hit the brakes here a little bit and check the switches up ahead. Because I'm not entirely sure if we are lined up to go where we... okay, we are. But yeah, the switches aren't covered. Some of the ends of the splines aren't covered, which is making things looking a bit weird. Ideally, it would be going to the end of the splines as well and then overlapping with the next part. But yeah, so it's just... This node seems to be very selective on where it wants to go. Or somebody cleaned up the switches and then put everything on the rest of the track for some reason. Okay, let's hit the brakes, hit the switch, get into the other engine and actually bring it in. Honestly, this has something cozy, just bringing in the engines back to their shed. Especially if stuff is snow covered just like this over here. Oh, I don't have the thing on. Oops, this... Okay, this might be a bit spicy now. Compressor, please. I wasn't really expecting to be doing this today, at least not on video, but I mean, this is also kind of funny. Before we get back to the agony of the main train and what the game might be throwing at us with that. Okay, we should be good here. I'm just gonna let the compressor run. Who cares? Flip the switch. This is also not really looking natural. I guess it compressed all the ups and downs over here and can't handle a short spline. This might actually be the first time I'm ever really looking at this whole thing. I avoided the whole weather system for quite a while. I don't know, it's kinda cool. With all the snow, it would be better if it worked more consistently. But yeah, I wasn't playing on Aurora Falls for the longest time, so didn't really have much in the way of experiencing all of that. And with weather stuff and all of that being kind of broken, not working with dynamic um, time of day and all of that, or at least not custom day time. Yeah, I just skipped out on it pretty much. Anyways, we are done here with our helper engines, back to the main ones. And yeah, this is looking kinda hilarious. So let's quickly align the switches because we are going to get out of this area finally. So yeah, we are going to have to bring the train around. So we are just going ahead, right into the turnaround loop, coming back around here, and that should be pretty much it. I'm gonna save again because I'm very afraid of what's up ahead. Okay, there's still some fire in the firebox. I mean, this is looking very different now to the what it was before. With the older thumbnail. But yeah, let's see. I don't want to go full steam ahead, at least not the entire time. We are going to take it a bit slow at times. And yeah, we are not doing anything to the snow with our engine. Just gliding through it, as if nothing was happening here. I'm also not sure if I ever really use the snowplow for anything. Really, there should be a revamp to the entire river system anyways. It's nice that they brought it back to the state it was in when they introduced it, after it being so much worse for so long. But yeah, it would be nice if we could maybe set more specific weather. Is that the caboose at the end? I thought the train was longer. Now I'm dissing my own train. I'm gonna have to expand it at some point. That's not gonna happen. This thing is long enough. It's heavy enough. I don't need more of that. But yeah, while the snow stuff is kinda cool in its own right, it really only works if you either have like a really long time setting for your weather, or you just set it to snow and leave it like that, like what I did here. But maybe there should be setting that you only go through a certain subset of the weather types, like maybe not the sandstorm in the snow area, and maybe just different variants of the snow weather. Maybe you get into a short blizzard, maybe it's um, somewhat sunny or cloudy and the snow just stays there, stuff like that. But just fully random also doesn't really do you much good in that regard, I think. But hey, you likely have seen the list video. I don't know if anybody would watch it, because that's almost 1 hour of me just going through a text document at the end of the day and giving some explanations. But hey, I felt it needed to be done, and in the end, that definitely outlines more major problems. The weather system is more like a luxury thing at this point, at least beyond it working like it does right now. Okay, everything here is cleaned up. Gonna be. I'm a bit worried about everything right now after all that nonsense in the last episode. It also it turned out that I had one brake still pulled on the last tanker car, so I was pulling through that. Still no real explanation on why the tanker car that actually derailed got pulled off the track. Link breakage, I could understand at that point. I would have still been pissed because I only noticed my mistake later. But the whole thing just tearing apart and the car ending up sideways on the track, that's just nonsense. Also, I'm glad that I actually had this track going the right direction. I don't know if I even checked for that. That could have been bad. But hey, we are coming out of the yard now, so I guess it's time to really get pulling. And yeah, I might actually set this to another weather in a moment. We've had like almost 15 minutes of this. I was wondering why we were going so fast all of a sudden. Let me guess, it's again somewhere around that stupid crossover. Yep. One of the cars just couldn't take it. There's another one derailed over here, which is likely the one that we were... Please don't run into each other. Cool. Neat. Very nice game. Thank you so much for this amazing experience once again. Leave session. Go through the annoying fuzzy main screen. Let's click off that right away because that thing is obnoxious as hell. Beginner physics are now realistic, and realistic means no physics on loaded cars, so let's keep it to this. Medium industry difficulty, medium fuel consumption because the game doesn't remember that anymore. Automatic couplers off, and here we go again. I don't know what to say anymore. You know my opinion. I would have loved to enjoy this game more, but at this point it's better if we say goodbye to it sooner than later. And right now I'm pretty much working towards it. I'm still kinda having a good time with it, but also when stuff like this comes up, not really anymore. It's just... It could have been better, it should have been better. And in the end, the devs are going to blame everybody, anybody, anything, but not really going to take into account that their game just isn't very good. But hey, this is the potential 1.0 release. I think they might get rid of some of the bugs they introduced with the last version. Let's be a bit careful here. But I also don't expect anything beyond that. And at this point, I just want to recite the entire list to you guys again because, yeah, it seems like an appropriate time. And yeah, at the very end of it, as I mentioned during that other video, despite all the problems with presentation, missing content like passenger transport, and all of the mismatched things that don't seem to work out, the big problem, and I mean also the economy not really being a thing in this game, the one big problem is just everything to do with the physics, with the train sim, and stuff just not working correctly. If this thing was playable without constantly throwing a stick in your wheels, or between your wheels, or whatever, or a wrench in your gearbox, it wouldn't be amazing, but it would be so much better than what it is right now. And this whole thing of having like multiple unforeseeable derailments and just random shit going wrong for no real reason, this is what kills it. Plain and simple. So are the switches aligned? I'm not entirely sure here. Let's quickly check in on that. Hopefully we are going to get a bit further this time around. Maybe we might actually eventually make it back on the main line with all the cars intact. And yeah, going up here we would actually need to... This one is alright. This... Yeah, we go on this, and I think we need to be on this side. Yep. And yeah, we are slowly going to make our way towards the end of the yard again. The corners here are a bit tighter than 60 meters, so I'm a bit more careful. Also some slight bit of height difference because it was really tough even squeezing all of this into that space to begin with. But yeah, we are coming around, we are slowly picking up speed. And I honestly don't even know if going slow through this is going to help. It's just a constant thing. I don't know if it's something to do with the snapping points or there being some kink in the actual crossover track, but there has been something wrong with those for ages and it just doesn't get any better. So maybe I shouldn't have made this bit of track over here going across. But yeah, we might actually be able to see some of the... Yeah, you see how violently that one twitches and likely also a few of the cars. There's definitely something wrong over there. And that's the same on all of these crossovers. Can't always avoid having them. But really at this point I probably should. And you know what, I'm gonna go to the apparent end of the train again. I wanted to view the caboose, but it was already too late and we now have 4 cars broken off. You know what? Under other circumstances, I would at this point consider to maybe stop the recording. Try again, because this is kind of a waste of time here. I won't. I'm sorry for anybody who's watching this, because it's just not what it should have been. But I'm not covering up for the shit that they are pulling here. I'll also switch over the weather now. I don't think that's gonna be doing anything here. But yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and remove the stupid crossover. Just bit of spline track. And we should be able to go over there. I'll put the spline or the crossover thing back in afterwards because yeah, I don't want to go back to not having that shortcut thing there. I think that's really kind of useful when going back down there. But third attempts, I'm kind of just... I've had it with this whole thing. But hey, now we can watch the snow disappear, we can watch it melt and everything going back to sunny and green and everything. So let's do that. Doesn't this even count as a rail or what's going on here? Let's see. Also, I don't get why the track copying thing is like you have to close it with backspace. Very inconsistent UI design here as per usual. But yeah, now we should be able to get over there. If this still happens, that might be the abrupt end of the episode. I might still upload it though. Just so you know my pain. And again, I feel like if at this point I'm not showing all of this, I'll be just covering up for the devs and I don't want to do that. I'm not complicit in this whole bullshit scam of the game. I mean, it's not really a scam, but Jesus Christ, it's so broken. Also, another really important thing right now is to not get too impatient. Because then we are not going to get there either. So let's check out the map. Make sure that everything is still lined up. I think everything here should be okay. I can flip this one. And then we also once again need to go to the other side, and I think the only switch that needs to be flipped is this one. I mean, maybe also this one right here. But everything should be set up for us to go on exactly the track that we need to. Tap back out, tap back in. Hope for nothing to go wrong this time around. Again, if all of these stupid derailment things were fixed, if I could just reliably run the trains and know that they are only going to fall apart if I do something wrong, I would be happily playing this game much more. There are a lot of other issues that I think should be addressed. See the list update for that. But if this was taken care of, I would be okay with it. But hey, 1.0, it's here. They didn't announce it at 1.0 yet, but I think that's gonna happen once they think they can somehow get away with pushing this onto the main branch. Because once again, internally it is numbered like that. Might be due to Kuma, the main dev, not knowing that after 0.9 you can also do 0.10. He might just be thinking he ran out of numbers. And that would be too stupid. I don't think that's the case, but man, I like to imagine. Okay, let's roll it. Yeah, third time around here. This time in the sun once more. This time green grass all around. Let's see if that helps us. I think this is gonna be the difference maker in the end. And yeah, I need to give it some power over here, otherwise we are going to hit the grate in a moment. I think this is already going up a bit, and I don't want to stall out. So let's see, we are still focused on the caboose. We don't see any cars next to the track. So this actually helped, and yeah, I think it's time to go full beans. Remember when I tried to do this last episode because I thought this would not be a big deal? Just say let's go there, it's pretty fast, straightforward, not gonna take much time. God knows what's going to happen once we get to the climaxes. There's still the whole issue about physics not being consistent, and it might be the case that the climaxes just can't do it today. I set this all up with realistic physics in mind, the exact amount of loaded cars in mind, the exact same load, the exact same engines, and it might still not work because Railroad's online, my guys. But hey, we're gonna have to worry about that once we get there. Right now, let's just hope that the train stays in one piece and everything should be fine from there. There's the caboose. Always nice to see. But yeah, I think at the end of it, and did I even have the day and night cycle on? I may have turned it off actually to try and build a bit more. Yeah. You know what? Let's go through it at night because we haven't had that in a while. Can't see shit, but I should be able to turn the generator on and get a bit of light here. I think this video is a very good demonstration on why so many content creators are so bummed out about the game. Because I'm not the only one dealing with this. Not by a long shot. And it gets worse when you use the sugarcane cars. They also derail on random switches and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes the switches also just end up flipping to the other side for some reason while there are cars on. Are there any cars even behind me still? Yep. Can only see this one here unless we are on a curve where the light can actually shine at the rest. You know what? Caboose checkup. It's still there. And there are so many more cars behind here that we cannot even see at all. Like, this is really the darkest night. How does this look in first person if I just go to this end here? I mean, the atmosphere here it's amazing. The game can do some stuff pretty well, but yeah. I don't wanna deny that. It's just that in the end, it doesn't always come together. Okay, let's put more coal into the firebox. Top her all off, and that's gonna be good to go for the next bit. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to accelerate the time a bit. It's a bit dark bit too dark for me as well. Let's put it somewhere before sunrise. This is also why I definitely want accelerated night cycle, because the night is just so dark that it's barely you can barely do anything at night at all. Oh, I think we are about to hit the top of the grade here. This seems to be where we crossed over. Yeah, there's the other track coming down from the top plateau. So we are pretty close to the end here. As I said, the journey here, that's not much of a problem. Everything else about it, different story. But yeah, we are pretty much on even ground again. There should be a bridge coming up, which we are going to go below. Yeah, there it is. And we can just let it coast here for a moment. I think that should be fine, and it's slowly getting brighter again. Also, does it make any difference if I... Okay, there is some light difference, but it really is only noticeable once you go really low with your light level. Like, this is 1%, this is 100, okay, yeah, but... And this is 0. I mean, fine. Okay, time to hit the brakes a little bit. These are barely doing anything. It's kinda alarming actually. Okay, I should have maybe put that building a bit further forward. Honestly, for an engine this massive, the entire thing kinda... A lot of my trays aren't really built for that. Okay, let's check in on the caboose. We need everything to be on that siding there. But I might as well slowly pull the brakes because we could do with slowing down a little bit more. Although this is really not doing anything. Let's just let it coast. Yeah, the engine shed is kinda cutting it close. I should really move it a bit further over there and that should be better. Could also theoretically try and move the switches, but I don't want to make the sidings any shorter. And we definitely need to hit the brakes here. I don't think there's too much space on the other side either. I mean, yeah, there are a few inches, yards even. Okay, but enough about that. So we have stopped. And you know what? I can actually... I should really bring the engine in. Let's disconnect it and... Do we need to turn it around? I think we do. So yeah, let's take care of that. We also have another helper engine over here currently doing some loading, or it was at least supposed to be doing some loading. But I kind of stopped doing that at some point, I don't know. Ooh, that's maybe a bit spicy. We are slightly off track here. Let's roll that back. Alright. And turn the whole thing around once more. Okay, for some reason it tells me hold whatever to rotate clockwise and it doesn't allow me to do that. Is that just broken now? I don't remember changing anything here, so who knows how that came to be. And I think it worked down below. I mean, didn't I turn the engine clockwise? I think I did. Should have been the faster way around to turn it down or turn it around at the other place. I mean, apart from me reloading a few times, this is still the same session, so we might have to see what the other turntables say. Just gonna make sure I'm not overshooting here, because that would be bad now. Also nice that I can still turn it over here without even having the lever. I should really stop caring about these kind of things. Okay, let's see. Where do we bring the engine from here? Just over into the turntable. And thankfully that only requires us to turn the table counterclockwise. So we should be good there. Spicy speed on the yard. Just coming through here. And yeah, loads of cordwood standing around, waiting to be delivered and all of that. The system is actually working out pretty well over here. I'm really happy about it. And yeah, this is kind of funny because a few episodes ago we actually took the engine right out of that shed over there. And now it's going straight back in. Yeah. Maybe if I didn't overshoot. I hit the keyboard with my mouse and couldn't get to the break in time. Dang it. You know what, let's pull through the brakes. They are pretty weak right now anyways. Okay, that's working out. But yeah, it just doesn't allow me to do this either, so something is seriously wrong and I may have to actually reload the save again. So bringing her in pretty gently with 100% regulator. And just like that, she's parked again. Nice. Okay, I'm also gonna flip this switch over just so in case I... Oh! I was still in that stupid parallel track laying tool, so now it should work again. Yeah. For some reason that must have still been open in the background, and now that I clicked on the switch it just tried to duplicate it. GG game. GG. Okay, yeah, but it's now finally time to take care of business over here. I'm gonna put down another save because I'm very afraid of what might happen otherwise. So let's get going. We need to fire up 4 engines. Thankfully that just means throwing some firewood into the boiler. And yeah, these are of course Randy, Mandy, Sandy and Brandy. Just like that. This one as well. I love this little thing I built for them. It's cozy. Would be nice if we actually had engine shed variants that maybe also are like pass through. So either doors on either side or maybe on one side we have a door in this direction, on the other into the other one, and then also mirrored variants. But yeah, one can dream. Or just make them modular and allow us to put in one half that's either like a door or just the wall, and so on and so forth. And by default they would be open just like these over here. Let's see, do we even have all the brakes pulled off? Yeah, this one is looking alright. The other side doesn't really matter right now. Because first up we need to take care of the caboose, and for that we actually need to push the entire train a bit further down the line. Also, since we are dealing with our specialty track right now, we should also probably align the switch. I think that should be it for that one. So let's go push a little. Okay, pressure is slowly going down, so of course the engines are not fully heated up yet. I should probably also hit the brakes here. And yeah, as per usual, the doors are missing and the windows are glued shut. Oh, the hatch is still here. Didn't that used to have like a thing coming down as well? Huh, who knows? Okay, that may have been a bit far push, but it doesn't really matter as long as we clear the switch over there. Because now what we need to do is actually go on to this siding. Everything else should be fine because we need to kick the caboose onto this track. Okay, we are looking pretty good here. Let's flip that switch. Disconnect the caboose, and I'm gonna do it from this side because we also still need the link and pin on that. And yeah, that should already be enough. Let's flip over to the other side again because now we can finally grab our actual payload here. And yeah, I'm going to need another link and pin over here before I forget it. What's this now, a dust storm? Or is it just fog rolling in? Okay, that's alright. Ideally I want the caboose at the very end of the track, just so that I can push all the empties back in here once I'm done with them. But you know what, we might be alright here with where it is right now. Okay, let's see. We have 24 cars in total, and if I remembered correctly, we need 12 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait a second. That's 4. That's another 4. 10, 12. That should be it. If I remember correctly. I tried balancing this in a way both with the amount of engines and the grade that we are going to go on. That it's a bit of a challenge, but it shouldn't be like abysmal. Still, let me save. I'm afraid of the things to come here. So yeah, at this point we should just get going. I'm just helping it get to speed, and now let's see. There's one more step to do before we really can get going, but we are very close to it. So we're now going on this track. Having hopefully exactly 12 cars here. I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's looking correct. And we'll just have to stop the train in a moment again. Just like this. It's about to hit a grade anyways, and yeah, we are going across some other sections there with 2 crossovers, so be very afraid. I certainly am. And this is the part of the track that we are sharing with our other engines over here. Those are the ones going up to the coal mine to deliver rails, and yeah, these are the ones going up to the refinery to deliver the crude oil. And I'm finally in the position to show you guys how that's all done at the end of the day. It only kinda sucks that I can't see shit right now. Okay, maybe go a bit slower. Okay, and here we are. Everything is set up, the train is fully assembled. So now we need to run this one in reverse, run this one in forward, and then get back up to the front 2 cars, or front 2 engines, I mean. Might still have the brake pulled. Shouldn't really matter all that much. And yeah, ideally I would be able to link them all together and run them as a consort. But hey, as long as it runs at all, I don't mind. Speaking of running at all, Yeah, so the way this is supposed to work is we have two engines at the front, pulling, 12 cars in the middle, and two engines at the back, pushing, going up this track over here, and just coming around this bend. Most of this is like 5% incline. And when we just take everything up here to the refinery, across another one of those cursed crossover sections, and then we drop everything over here, and then just bring the empties back down the same way they came from, all the way around there, coming back down here, just like this. And eventually, once we go down here, we need to slow the train down, run these cars up ahead so that I can put them back into their place. The other two engines are going to then push the empties onto this track towards the caboose. The engines are then going to come back around, grab the other 12 cars, and we are going to reconnect the other two engines to the back of that consort, and then we repeat the entire thing. And at the end of the day, we have a lot of crude oil up at the refinery. The empty cars are back down here. Everything is ready to go back to the oil field, at which point we would likely need to do another resupply there. And the reason I'm telling you guys all of that is because after this thing, I think I'm done trying. I don't really know. Tell me what you want to see from this, if I should give this another try in another episode, but yeah, I mean, how often am I supposed to attempt this with everything just going to shit? I mean, there are 3 different intersections here. I'm likely not ever going to make it across here. It's so frustrating. It's so annoying. Why can't this game just fucking work? Anyways, enough about this. Enough about the swearing. Enough about whatever the game tries to throw my way instead of just doing what it's supposed to do. I'm kinda done here. We might do another world tour if you want to see it or anything like that. Honestly, I still want to go back up onto the lookup point and have another look around the world or something, but we might be done with the operations here because everything is just not working how it should. And I'm tired of trying. Thank you all for watching. I hope you still enjoyed this look into why people are getting tired of playing this game. I certainly am, and therefore that's the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. See you guys next time. Till then, bye bye. And I don't know what's gonna happen next time. I don't really know if I'm up for more of this shit, just so that you know. Bye bye.